As everybody knows, as a result of this terrible, terrible pandemic, tens of millions of Americans are facing economic desperation. These are people who cannot afford to pay their rent. They owe thousands and thousands of dollars in back rent, and they face eviction. We're looking at millions of people who cannot afford to go to the doctor in the middle of the worst public health crisis in modern American history. We're looking at families all across this country who do not have the money to adequately feed their children. And hunger in America today is at the highest level that we have seen in decades. And all over this country, working people are going deeper and deeper into debt. And the point that I'm going to be making this week in the Senate is that Congress cannot go home for the Christmas holidays until we pass legislation which addresses, or at least begins to address, the terrible economic desperation faced by so many working families in this country. And that any legislation that Congress passes must include, at the very least, a $1,200 direct payment to working class adults, individuals $75,000 or lower, couples $150,000 or lower, and also a $500 payment for their kids. Now, as some of you will remember, this is what Democrats and Republicans did unanimously in March through the CARES Act. Remember the CARES Act? Provided money for working families in terms of direct payments of $1,200 for an adult, $500 for a kid, provided $600 in supplementary unemployment benefits. And the situation today, in many respects, is actually worse than what it was back when we passed that bill. So if Congress could unanimously, every Democrat, every Republican, vote for that bill in the first few months of the pandemic, we can do no less today when the pandemic is surging. So I hope that you will join me in demanding that the Senate and the House have the courage to do the right thing. And that must mean direct payments to working families all over this country who are struggling to maintain their dignity and to provide decently for their kids. Let's go forward together and let's make sure that the Congress does the right thing. Thank you very much.